Next up, I have the pleasure of inviting Mr. Faisal Albuloushi from the Open Worldwide Application Security Project's Kuwait Chapter present and talk about enhancing supply chain risk management using OWASP CycloneDX and Dependency-Track. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Faisal Albuloushi, OWASP Kuwait Chapter Leader, and I also work at the banking sector as a senior cybersecurity specialist. I would like at the beginning to thank the organizers for giving the OWASP Kuwait Chapter the opportunity to participate in this conference. As you know, globally, supply chain risk became a major and complex concern. So today, I'm going to talk about the supply chain risk management and how it can be enhanced using OWASP CycloneDX and Dependency-Track. We are going to cover the following topics: what is OWASP, explaining the supply chain risk, the definition of SBOM, the software bill of material, CycloneDX standard, dependency-track platform, and we will wrap up with some recommendations. OWASP stands for Open Worldwide Application Security Projects. Most of us know OWASP through OWASP Top 10 projects. And this project is one of the multiple flagship projects under OWASP umbrella. And currently there are more than 250 projects. All of them are open source, and all of them are built by the community for the community. Let's start with the supply chain idea. Hundreds of companies collectively work to assemble a single car. It starts from the raw materials like steel, aluminum, plastic, rubber, manufacturing components, sub-assemblies like the door module, HVAC system, logistics and transportation, tools and equipment, software, and more. The same concept is applied to the software. Your software will be using some libraries, frameworks, packages, IDEs, open source softwares, operating systems, cloud services, third-party APIs, like payment processing, and so on. It can be thought as software ingredient. To understand the risk, we need to show how the supply chain attack can cause significant impact. In 2020, March 2020, an APT group successfully injected their Trojan into a well-known platform. And that happened due to a supply chain attack. More than 18,000 clients applied the vulnerable updates. When we say 18,000 clients, they are governmental institutes, big companies, even the cybersecurity companies. It took 9 months to detect the breach. The same company got compromised again in July 2021 with again supply chain attack. In another example, in 2021, Colonial Pipeline a major fuel pipeline operator in US got compromised due to supply chain attack, and they deployed a dark side ransomware. The operation was down for approximately 6 days. The company paid $4.4 million US dollars, but unfortunately they didn't rely on the key. They relied on their backup systems. The US government declared a state of emergency in the affected areas. As shown in the slides, these are the published and disclosed vulnerabilities for some packages. For example, PyPy has almost like 10,000 plus vulnerabilities. NPM, 12,000 disclosed vulnerabilities. Linux packages, 13,000 plus. NuGet, 500 plus. So it's better to monitor your packages. Just going back to our example, a car. You have a car, and this car has a lock module. This lock module is built by a third-party company, and this module can be vulnerable, for example, to authentication bypass. So monitoring third-party components and dependency is essential to avoid major incidents. That's why the SBOM, Software Bill of Material, came into the surface, just to keep records of third-party components and dependencies. ANTIA defines SBOM as a formal machine-readable inventory, most likely XML or JSON. This inventory for software components and dependencies, information about those components, and hierarchical relationships between them. OWASP developed a standard called CycloneDX. It is a full stack bill of materials, not just software bill of material, but it also covers the software as a service bill of material, hardware bill of material, and hardware bill of material is widely used in the industrial control systems, IoTs, electronics, machine learning bill of material, manufacturing bill of material, operations bill of material, vulnerability disclosure reports for vulnerability intelligence, and VEX, vulnerability exploitability exchange. And the VEX, the vulnerability exploitability exchange, can be used to know which vulnerability is exploitable. A tool center can be found on CycloneDX website. It contains a set of open source and commercial tools. CycloneDX generator is a good tool to start. It supports most of the languages and package formats. It supports also automation, CI/CD. Also, it submits the bombs to the dependency track automatically. So have a look on it. The following are some cases like inventory, known vulnerabilities, integrity verification, authenticity, assembly, dependency graph, and vulnerability exploitability through the VEX. Starting to adopt SBOMs would fall under a simple generation process as shown on the top. Generation, consumption, and analysis. You will be using one of the tools in the generation process, and usually it starts in the build phase. After getting a hands-on experience and being familiarized with XBOMs, your process or your generation process would be enhanced. So after generating the bomb, you can just verify the results. You will be adopting or using some tools and compare the results with the the bombs you generated. And then if you need to correct, you can correct the results. You can enrich, adding some hash values, adding some references, annotations. After that, you can consume and analyze the results. For the consumption and analysis, OWASP also developed a dependency-Track. It is a platform for component analysis. It can be used to track vulnerabilities, outdated libraries, licenses, certificates, etc. Infrastructures can be monitored like servers, network components, firmwares, and so on. It helps in asset and patch management. It supports components like application, libraries, frameworks, operating systems, containers, firmware, files, hardware, services. Let's take an example. If you want to know if you are using OpenSSL with a specific version, just simply can type OpenSSL and it will show you where you are using this and if you are using an outdated version or not. Do you need to so it's very useful. This is the ecosystem that can be built. CycloneDX, the dependency-Track, can consume or generate CycloneDX bombs, consume and produce also VEX, Vulnerability Exploitability Exchange. Vulnerability intelligence, there are a lot of databases like NVD, GitHub Advisory, OSV, and so on. Supported repositories to identify outdated components. It supports also notifications, API integration, vulnerability aggregation. So I would like to close with the following recommendations. Prioritizing supply chain risk management within your strategies for better supply chain resilience. Review software development lifecycle and other software security policies and try to incorporate the XBOMs or the software bill of materials. Make sure to cover all software classes, not only in-house applications, even the commercial softwares, open source softwares. Teaching students about supply chain is essential and how they can generate and consume bombs, the bill of materials. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Albuloushi, for your presentation. Can I invite you to stay on the stage just for 2 seconds? And my colleague, Ma, will once again present you the token of appreciation. So thank you very much.